What happens if someone dies on a cruise ship, thousands of miles away from land? It's not something most passengers think about. When people imagine cruises, they think about vacations, luxury dinners, ocean sunsets, pool decks, entertainment, not death. But modern cruise ships are like floating cities, and just like cities, medical emergencies can happen at any time, especially because many cruise passengers are older travelers. Every year, millions of people travel by cruise ship, and while most vacations end peacefully, some journeys take unexpected turns. A sudden heart attack, a medical emergency late at night, an accident on board, and when that happens, the ship cannot simply stop. Because unlike hotels on land, cruise ships are isolated, sometimes surrounded by nothing except open ocean for hundreds of miles. Which raises a question most passengers never ask. What actually happens next? Do cruise ships have morgues? How do crews respond to emergencies? What happens to other passengers on board? And how does a ship continue operating while something tragic happens somewhere inside it? Tonight, we're exploring the hidden reality most cruise lines rarely talk about: the emergency systems, the quiet procedures, and the strange emotional atmosphere that can exist on board when life suddenly changes at sea. Because cruise ships are designed to feel relaxing, but behind the entertainment and luxury, there's an entire emergency system silently operating in the background, ready for moments passengers hope never happen. Modern cruise ships are much more prepared for emergencies than most people realize. In fact, large cruise ships often have fully equipped medical centers on board. Some even resemble small hospitals. They include emergency rooms, medical equipment, doctors and nurses, isolation areas, emergency medication. Because cruise lines understand something important: when you're in the middle of the ocean, outside help may be hours away. So when a serious medical emergency happens, everything moves quickly. Crew members are trained to respond immediately. Emergency calls are sent through internal communication systems, medical teams rush toward the location, and depending on the situation, entire areas of the ship may quietly change atmosphere within minutes. Passengers nearby may notice crew suddenly moving faster, restricted hallways, medical announcements, emergency elevators being prioritized. But cruise lines usually try to keep situations calm and private. Most passengers never fully realize what's happening, and if the emergency becomes critical, the captain may face difficult decisions. Should the ship continue normally? Should it change course toward the nearest port? Or should emergency evacuation procedures begin? In extreme situations, helicopters may even be used for medical evacuation at sea, especially when every minute matters, and while passengers continue eating dinner, watching shows, or sleeping, a completely different reality may be unfolding somewhere deeper inside the ship. That contrast is what makes cruise emergencies feel so surreal. Because cruise ships are designed to protect the vacation atmosphere, even during serious moments. One of the most surprising facts about cruise ships is that many large ships actually have morgues on board, and while it may sound shocking, it's considered a necessary part of modern cruise operations. Because cruise ships carry thousands of passengers across long distances. Some voyages last weeks, and many travelers are older adults, which means cruise lines must prepare for every possible situation. These onboard morgues are usually very small, hidden far away from passenger areas. Most passengers will never know they exist, never see them, never hear about them. And that's intentional. Cruise lines work very carefully to keep emergency procedures private and respectful. If someone passes away on board, the crew follows strict international procedures. Authorities at the next port may be contacted, medical documentation is completed, family members receive support from onboard staff, and the ship quietly continues operating. That's perhaps the strangest part of all. Life on board continues. Restaurants remain open, music still plays, shows continue happening. Because cruise ships are floating worlds carrying thousands of people at once. And while one family may experience tragedy, most passengers remain completely unaware. Some cruise guests later describe sensing a strange atmosphere on board without understanding why. A quieter mood, more crew movement, a subtle emotional shift. But in most cases, cruise lines handle these situations so professionally that passengers notice nothing at all. And maybe that's because cruises are designed around emotional escape. The experience must continue moving forward, even during difficult moments behind the scenes. Cruise ships are strange places. They're designed to feel joyful, relaxing, almost disconnected from reality. The advertisements show sunsets over the ocean, luxury dinners under soft lighting, families laughing near the pool deck, music, entertainment, and endless movement everywhere. And when people step onto a cruise ship, that's usually the world they expect to experience. A temporary escape from normal life, a place where problems feel far away. But at the same time, cruise ships carry something much deeper beneath all of that entertainment. Real human life. Thousands of people traveling together across the ocean. Different ages, different stories, different emotions. Some passengers are celebrating honeymoons. Others are finally taking their dream vacation after years of saving money. Some are reconnecting with family. Some are traveling alone to escape stress back home. And wherever human life exists, unexpected moments can happen. Medical emergencies, accidents, loss, situations most passengers never think about while watching the ocean from the upper decks. That's why cruise ships quietly prepare for realities hidden beneath the luxury experience. Behind the restaurants and theaters, entire emergency systems operate silently in the background. Medical centers prepared for serious situations. Crew members trained for emergencies. Procedures designed for moments passengers hope never happen. And what makes it feel so surreal is that most people on board never notice any of it. One side of the ship may still be full of celebration. Music echoing across the pool deck. Crowded restaurants filled with laughter. Passengers dancing late into the night. While somewhere else, behind closed doors, crew members may be handling a serious emergency calmly and professionally. And maybe that contrast is what makes cruise ships feel emotionally unique compared to other vacations. Because cruises are floating worlds, small versions of life itself moving across the ocean. Joy and sadness existing at the same time. Excitement and uncertainty existing only a few hallways apart. People creating unforgettable memories, while others may suddenly experience moments they never expected. And somehow, through all of it, the ship continues moving forward. The ocean keeps stretching endlessly around it. The engines continue humming beneath the decks. Morning still arrives, sunsets still happen, and the journey continues. That emotional contrast is something most passengers never fully think about, because cruise ships are designed to protect the illusion of escape, to make the experience feel smooth, beautiful, and effortless. But behind that experience, thousands of crew members work constantly to keep everything operating safely, quietly, professionally, almost invisibly. And maybe that's why stories like these fascinate people so much. Not because they're shocking, not because they're dark, but because they reveal the hidden side of cruise life most passengers never see. The reality behind the perfect vacation image shown online. Because a cruise ship is more than entertainment, more than luxury, more than a floating hotel. It's a moving world, complex, emotional, and constantly operating behind the scenes in ways most passengers will never fully understand. And perhaps that's what makes cruising so fascinating in the first place. Not just the destinations, not just the parties or the views, but the strange feeling of being surrounded by thousands of lives together in the middle of the ocean, all experiencing the same journey in completely different ways. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more cinematic cruise documentaries and hidden stories here on SailSmart. And tell me in the comments, did you know cruise ships had medical centers and morgues on board, or did this surprise you? Until next time, travel smart, sail smarter.